Hello everyone, my name's Lorraine and today we're doing another speed build in The Sims 4. Today's house is a hacienda style family home. I got really excited to make this when we got all those fantastic Hispanic Heritage Month items, so that is what we're working on today. In this house, we're also going to be celebrating Thanksgiving in the desert with this family. I think we always sort of think of Thanksgiving being celebrated in like New England places, excuse me, with like colorful leaves and everything, but that's not what Thanksgiving is like when you live in the desert, and I know because I grew up in the desert. Yeah, the lovely desert of Southern California. Yep, I grew up there. Anyway, so here we are getting in some arches and some lovely doors and windows. I really enjoyed the floor plan on this build. I made it a lot more open plan than I usually make my houses. Because, like, I don't know, I don't like open plan that much. You might have noticed in my other builds. I like the idea of privacy and I prefer that privacy. Here I'm putting in I'm using Kate Emerald's curved path method for making these like interesting curved flower beds. And I think that they turned out so cool. I also used debug in this particular build to kind of imitate the flowers around the area, which is not something I usually do. So I really like how the landscaping turned out. I think it was really interesting. I love making those curved shapes. It's fun. It's hard, but it's fun. I will definitely link to Kate Emerald's channel and her excellent tutorial for that in the description below. Whew, excuse me. So here I'm just finishing up putting those flowers in, and using those debug flowers. Everyone says this, but that's probably because it's true. That like the debug flowers are so much brighter than the regular ones. I really like that cactus too. I don't think I've ever had a reason to use it in a build, so I was pretty happy when I had a reason with this one, because I don't generally like cacti, but that particular one I think is really pretty. Here I'm trying to create a little sort of raised, or maybe not raised, but like finished and kind of sectioned off area for these palm trees that kind of looks like it goes with the rest of the yard. So I'm also using that as like curved foundation trick of Kate Emerald's to get that to look the way I want it to. I think it turned out pretty good. And then just finishing up the flowers here in the front. And on the back, this is my new favorite thing, is to raise up a foundation and put a pool in it. I don't know why, I just think it looks awesome. And like, pools have decks, so it kind of makes sense. I just love the idea of like stepping up. I don't know why, like it kind of doesn't make sense, right? Because a pool is basically a hole in the ground, but I don't know. You can step up to a hole in the ground, right? Like that makes sense. Here we're doing this little raised terrace in the backyard, and this was my favorite part of this build. It just looked so like the epitome of that traditional Mexican hacienda style. At least I think it's Mexican. It may be Spanish. If you know, please tell me in the comments below. I am not by any means an expert on Mexican, Spanish, or Central American or South American culture, so I could very easily have gotten that wrong, and if I did, I'm sorry. I do care and I do try to research, but I don't know everything, so I'm sorry. Anywho, so I'm just finishing off the deck there with that base game fence, and now I'm getting to the really cool part where we get to put the nice pretty things in. So here are those lovely, gorgeous, beautiful objects we got for Hispanic Heritage Month. I had so much fun with this. I love how colorful they are. There's only a few tables that have really colorful, interesting swatches in The Sims, and they tend to be pretty small. So the fact that we have those larger ones that are big enough for a family to eat at, I think are like, it's just really cool. And that is the pergola, also from those Hispanic Heritage Month items that I was putting over the pool like a second ago, but now we're in the terrace. So let's just move on. Let's move on to the terrace. I'm putting in some plants, and one thing that I end up doing here that I think is very cool is there is wisteria in the debug. There it is. And I lifted it up to be in those arches, and it just made it look like it came right out of like a movie set for Zorro or something, which kind of made my life, because I love Zorro. I think Zorro is amazing. I loved Zorro as a little kid, and I still love Zorro, and that's maybe kind of the limit of what I know about Mexican or Spanish culture. I don't know. I do know a bit. I don't know. I am from Southern California, so you can't really live in Southern California and not know a bit. But anyway, now we're in the kitchen. Yay! So we did an open kitchen with these cool big arches and these epic looking cabinets, which I'm pretty sure are from Jungle Escape, which are perfect for the vibe of this build. I really like how this kitchen came out. It's one of my favorite ones I've done in a long time. And I might say that in every build, I'm not sure. But this time it's true, I swear. I really, really, really like this kitchen. And I liked what I did in this living room. So here we are setting up this like kids area. So I really wanted this house to be extremely like kid friendly and make it feel like kids can just be themselves and hang out and have a good time in this house. And I feel like the mom and dad in the house are also like, they just really want their kids to be comfortable. And unfortunately, that's not true in every home. I think it should be. Like, kids should be allowed to be kids. Like y'all shouldn't have white couches if you have kids. It's not fair. Kids should not be expected to keep white couches clean. It's just not. I say that as a parent myself. Kids need space to be children. It's important. Anyway, so part of the story of this build, speaking of children, is the oldest daughter in this family, who's around 19 or so, actually has a baby little monkey boy. I call kids monkeys. It's not meant as any kind of disrespect. It's just meant as like a cute little thing. Anyway, she has a little boy. His name is Alejandro. He's adorable. He's a toddler. And she actually lives with her son, Alejandro, in her own little apartment, which we will see next week. And they're coming over to her parents' house for Thanksgiving in this this little build or something. Yeah, this build. I promise. I can talk. Anyway, so yeah, so that's like the little story, and then next week you get to see her house, her and her son's house, which I am very excited about because it's a duplex, which I think is pretty cool. But anyway, so finishing up this seating area in the entry, I always like making really comfortable, nice entryways for my Sims houses, just because like there's something about the idea of having a nice space to just like take your shoes off and put your stuff down, and I do not have a space like that in my house, so maybe it's just like wishful thinking. Someday I will have that. That's one thing I really like about the new Snowy Escape pack is the Japanese cultural tradition of the Genkan with the step down for taking off your shoes. I love that idea. I would love to make that a reality in my own house someday. We'll get there. We'll get there. Now we're working on the bedrooms upstairs, and I believe this one is the parents' room. It might be the grandfather's room. I believe grandfather is abuelo in Spanish. You can correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure my pronunciation is absolutely horrid, so I apologize for that in advance. I tried to make this like what is in an old man's room? Like that is a weird question to think about, right? Like like what do old men have in their room? Like I don't know. I don't really know the answer. I built a room for him that was just kind of meant to be sort of traditionally like decorated in a traditional sort of Mexican feel. Because I think this family is from actual Mexico. Oh my goodness. I'm just like so culturally inept today. Please just disregard that. I'm doing my best. I'm trying. Anyway, so yes, I made the grandfather's room more culturally traditional because I thought as an older person he would prefer that more traditional style. And kind of the rest of the house is more of a mix of modern and traditional, kind of reflecting like his or the parents in this house's style more than like his style or the kid's style. And you'll see the kids' rooms, like the girls' room is like an explosion of pink flowers. It's beautiful, and I quite enjoyed making that. I think the teenager that is no more inside of me was just like, yes, pink flowers everywhere. Anyway, we're still finishing up the grandfather's room. He also has his own bathroom. So in this house, I made the parents' room and the grandfather's room both have their own bathroom because I would figure that the grandfather probably does not want to share a bathroom with the kids. I know I wouldn't. And if I was the parents in this house, I would not want my mom or dad to have to share a bathroom with my children. So I just like made that easier for everyone and gave them both their own ensuite. And then the kids have their own bathroom too, but we'll get there. Anyway, so here's the parents' room, and I really enjoyed making this room. I've tried to use things I didn't normally use. Like I love the bright swatches on that ottoman. I tend to use really neutral swatches on things, and that's one thing that I find so kind of captivating about Mexican and Spanish culture is the bright colors that are used so much. I think that's so just vibrant and interesting, and I wanted to really put that element in this build because I tend to do a lot of neutral, or if I do use a color, it tends to be very minimal. So I really tried to go outside the box and just like use all the colors in this house. So here I'm finishing up the parents' bathroom with that painting there. I love that robe too. I just recently started putting it in my builds. So here's the teen girl's bedroom, which it looks like your very typical teenage girl's bedroom, I thought. Very, very pink. And I had to use the dresser with the cherry blossoms on it because I built this before Snowy Escape came out actually. And I had Snowy Escape on the mind, which was kind of funny, seeing as how I was doing like a hacienda style build and not a Japanese build, but hey, you know, you do what you can, right? So here we're working on the boys' bedroom, and he has a very also typical kind of boys' room. I really like that desk with the yellow drawers. I don't think I've ever used that swatch before. I really have, this was definitely an out-of-the-box kind of build. I love the rug there too. Like, I don't think I've ever used that dinosaur rug, and it's adorable. I used those little nursery pictures because I kind of wanted his room to feel like, you know, like he's a big boy, but like he was a little boy not that long ago. So now we're working on the kids' bathroom, and I divided this bathroom, which is interesting because I've done that for a really long time, just because it makes it easier on the Sims. And now it's like fashionable to do that now that we have Snowy Escape. Alright guys, well here we are just coming up on the end of the video. I'm so glad you guys decided to click on my video today. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more fun content just like this. Be sure to hit the notification bell so that you'll know when my next video comes out, and I will see you next time. Bye.